Hello and welcome to another installment of my Let's Build Stuff in Valheim for Science working title. I hope you're doing well. In this stream, we're going to spend a little bit of time working on some experimental floor designs using tables and other assorted flat surfaces that you can walk on, potentially, as well as a little bit of time spent on some stained glass window designs. We'll see how it goes. I'm excited to share some of this with you and just kind of have a chill build stuff for science stream. I hope you're doing well. So hi Sarah, thank you for being here. What do you got going on this time period? How are you doing? Hi Kyle, same questions. Thanks for being here. How are you doing? What's going on? We're gonna do a little bit of experimentation and see how it goes. So, I've got a couple things set up. These are the tables that we're going to spend a little bit of time with. So we've got our, let's see what... We've got our, I can't remember what these are called, so this is just table. And our long heavy table. I'm partial to the long heavy table. I like the way it looks. It looks pretty nice to walk on as well. The round table's kind of the same. Doesn't have the rivets on the top, but it's also usable. And then the marble table, the black marble table. So we're gonna mess with those a little bit, and they're all the same height, which is nice. There's a couple other textures that aren't quite the same height that we'll play with. But let's start with the easy. So first of all, these are kind of a non-standard height when you are looking to add them to an already existing floor. So for example, if you've got a floor that is if you've got a floor that's like, well, I mean kind of like what I've got going on here. The only problem is I'd have to dig out from underneath it to show it to you. But in order to walk on these, in order to build on them, they need to match with, say, a wood half wall or something like that. So to start with that, we've got a little bit of a height difference there, right? So that's a little short. Now, if you're okay with that, that's all right. But if you're looking to match it to an existing floor, so for example, if I already had an existing floor here, like this, but blocked, and I want to add, say, I wanted a table floor to be flush with it. Everybody say hi to my cat. If I wanted my table floor to be flush with it, I just need to raise it up a little bit. And the easiest way that I've found to do that is to just add a couple floor tiles. So put one floor tile down, and then put another floor tile directly on top of it. It's not super precise, but you know, we're not looking for this part to be what's visible anyways, right? So once we do that, let's see, I need to raise that a little bit more actually, because the feet of the table need to be Sarah says, looking forward to trying this out. Well, I'm glad. Maybe it's 3. It may actually be 3. 3 tiles up. Let's see here. Yeah. No, that's pretty flush with it. So we have a foul smell from the swamp. No, we don't. Just clear all that. Alright, so a nice flush look. I think you can do 2. I'm not sure that's as flush. No, it's not. You can even tell that it's just not. So just keep that in mind. if you're looking to add this to an already existing floor, just slap 3 floor tiles down on top of each other, and build your table so that it is flush with that. All right, so that's one thing. The next thing that we need to be aware of is just kind of how jank some of this can be. So, for example, if you were to smush these together like that, you get a little bit of the texture smushing that goes in there, and sometimes it does a little bit of the weird vibrating. And that's without flipping them or turning them or anything like that. I like to try and flip them, and I notice that there's a little less jittering when you rotate them to get a little bit different of just a little bit of a texture look in there. So just keep that in mind. And also, this is pretty touchy in terms of what you can do with the ends. It's pretty. It doesn't want to build too much further in like that. But that's that's not bad, right? Like we're doing something that the game doesn't necessarily want us to be doing. So just be aware that there are limits to this particular table, and I think the other tables follow suit, right? I know the round table is also, actually I think the round table is the least. The round table and the marble table are not as touchy, right? So you can do some pretty cool stuff with this by just combining, the textures. So now I've got that looks okay, right? But it's still right. It doesn't really like to touch itself so much. In fact, once the edges touch, it doesn't look like doesn't really look like it's gonna play very nice. But this is okay, right? This looks alright, because it gives us a nice little circle in there, and we can combine these things. Here pretty soon I'm gonna stop like being in teaching mode and really kind of enter messing around with stuff mode. Because I'm interested to see if we can put how much variation can we really add into this. Okay, cool. That's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. It doesn't look like it's got any less of a tolerance in terms of like when it's rotated, but that's kind of cool. Looks like the edges of the tables causing a bit of an issue. Huh. Wonder why this is so touchy here, but it's all right there. That's kind of interesting. Okay, but we got a little bit of a proof of concept going on here. This is pretty neat. I would consider doing this for something. Let's see what else we got going on here. Yeah, this table's pretty particular about what touches it though. And in terms of how far in it can be forced. The marble table, on the other hand, is not as touchy. Right? It's like, yeah, just smush me against anything. But keep in mind, it looks like it's got a lot of the jittering. As soon as it's touching something, it jitters pretty heavily. Yeah, that's pretty jittery on its edges. What about its ends? Yeah, that's also pretty jittery. Blah, 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 blah. And I guess since the marble piece kind of already exists as a tile that we can use, I guess this doesn't really have as much of a function so much. But if you want this shape, and I like this shape, I'm not sure what this shape would be called, but I don't know. I like the shape, It's unfortunate that it's so jittery when stuff touches it, but that's okay, I guess. Let's see what else we got going on here. The regular table is also not as touchy in terms of how far it can be placed inside of things. I've used a couple of these, even just on my hard mode with Aaron's playthrough. I used a few of these as a nice little floor. So yeah, so let's build a little structure. It needs to be at least blip 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 blip. It needs to be at least, how long are these? These are pretty long, about 8 meters long. So let's do an 8-meter walk deep by, I don't know, 16-meter long building or something. Maybe a little bit shorter, because that's not the purpose of this. I mean, we're not going to build a house or anything, but we're going to spend, I would like to have a structure to work on stainless windows with too. Whoops, I broke the wrong thing. So, get all of those gone. Now let's just build a simple structure so that we can kind of demonstrate adding this to an already existing floor as well. There is an 8-meter. Let's do 8 by 12. And I'm gonna kind of simulate like having this built like somewhere out in the wild, right? I like being able to add stuff to already existing structures, so like being able to add it. But if you're gonna plan a build around these kinds of floors, then you're definitely gonna need to have enough space, right? So I feel like this is probably, I don't know, how tall is this? So it's a meter tall. So these tables are just a touch under being a meter tall, so they kind of fit in this weird little area. So we're gonna build a regular floor on top of this. With just these wood pieces for now. And this will be our structure. So we're not going to add walls and all of that stuff until later. If we do add walls, they might not be full walls, they might just be windows. Alright. So we know from what we saw a little earlier that we have to raise this up a little bit. So if you're adding this to an already existing structure, there we go. Is it really 8 meters? Hang on. No, like 6. Alright. I didn't really math that very well, but that's okay. So I'm gonna, I guess I mean this could be a thing that you could do, is just have it so that it's not completely flush with the top or flush with the floor. If you're gonna do an entire floor of these, it's up to you. But I've usually only just added this to existing builds. So like I said, boop, add a couple floor pieces, 2, and it's 3. There we go. And then I'm just gonna hook into this. I'm not gonna like stack a bunch of floor pieces together. The cool thing is, like, you don't have to add like a complete subfloor. It's just where you're gonna point your cursor at. But in this case, we're just gonna point our cursor right here, like so. And then we'll add another couple of these here. And then I'll rotate this. I think the jittering on this table may also be time dependent. Time of day 0.3. Time of day 0.6. Maybe not. It seems like the jittering is a little bit better than it was. Because I know when I built this on Farmheim, I built a bunch of these outdoors. Oh, and speaking of outdoors, they have kind of a cool weathered texture. So like, they get this kind of nice weathered dock looking color. When if you build it inside, it won't get that. But I like that too. I'm gonna repair that for consistency's sake. Flip, 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 flip. Add some more. Flip, flip. Furniture pieces. Flip. Oh, that's letting me go in quite a distance. It's not my favorite look. So I like to try and keep them a little. I want to keep it kind of spaced, right? Like so. Now, in terms of width, how wide are these? Because that may actually be kind of a problem, right? Like if they're not wide. Did it turn green? It did turn green. Look at that. I'm gonna rotate it, maybe. Let's see if we get a little bit more of a... Alright, so that's alright. And that walks nice, right? It looks nice. We can get the rivets a little bit more in line with one another. I think as I look at this though, I think part of the problem... No, it's this actually lines up pretty well, and it's moving in and out pretty nice too. Like I kind of expect a little bit more trouble getting this stuff like lined up. Ah, there it goes. See, there's a little bit of jittering that happens with this. That's not too bad though. Let's play with these now. See what we can do. Now I know that like these, they don't really mind. The round ones don't really mind if they're touching like build pieces, I don't think. I mean that's pretty like not bothered, right? It's not quite flush though, it's a little higher. It looks like I got like a couple choices. Let me see if holding the free build button kind of lets me. Yeah, you can play with the height a little bit against the tile next to it as well. So if it not being completely flush with a floor tile is kind of game breaking for you. Looks like we can just raise and lower, not by a lot, right? I guess we put this in here. And play with that a little bit, I guess. That's too much. But I mean, I'm okay with it not being completely flush. Still looks okay. There's a little bit of a step there, which I guess we could experiment with. I like the look of the round one. I think that if I were to do this, I would probably do this multiplayer. I don't think I would do a lot of this solo game. Yeah, in terms of non-standard floor textures for the game, that's pretty cool. I like that. I like the way the round ones look. Being a little touchy now, hey? Look at that. It wasn't being that problematic over there, but over here it's like, no, I don't wanna. I don't think I will. And it could be because of the floor tile. No, it just doesn't wanna. That's alright, I guess. I guess the major thing is what to do with the gaps in between. If you're gonna do like a completely round one, I guess that would be like the biggest issue is how do we fill those gaps in a way that doesn't really intrude. Of course, I would do a better job at planning like the size of this. I think the first time I used the round tables, was in the Adventure Hub on Farmheim. Let's see, where's the building? There it is. I don't think we can do much more. That's not the right height. Part of the problem. There we go. It's being kind of touchy. Get all that in. From down here, that doesn't look too bad. What happens if I add stairs into this? I'm slowly getting into the like raised elevated buildings. Like ordinarily I would just be like, okay, I'm gonna build a house, right? I'm just gonna put it right on the ground. Imagine this is the ground and walk right into it. But I've been watching some of y'all's builds over the last however long. Okay, so that goes straight in too. That's not a big deal. Again, I'm partial to adding this to like an already existing structure, so I don't know. Back to these gaps though. What can go in these gaps? Barrels. Oh, we can make barrels now. How tall are these barrels? Can we use barrels as floors? Hang on. How touchy are these? So I guess it's the same problem, right? It's but this would be really expensive. I don't know how much barrel hoops cost, but I bet this would be like a really expensive floor to make. Are these storage? Yeah. This is probably like 5,000 gold already. It's like a penny floor, where people take pennies and put them on the floor in epoxy. The only problem with this is I tried on. I don't like how much it jitters already. That's not the only problem. It looks cool, like and I guess we could rotate them for variation, right? So just barrel hoops. Rotate that for a little bit of variation. Of course, because of how tight that is already, probably won't let me do it. But yeah, no, that'd be kind of cool. When you rotate, sometimes it alleviates the jittery, sometimes it doesn't. So I feel like that could be an okay solution for the gaps in the round tables. It's just a matter of getting the height correct. So I think that's probably just one. You know how you have to use 3 floor tiles for the tables. It's probably just 1 floor tile for the barrel. Oh, looks like it might be 2. Hang on. There we go. Furniture. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. That's doable, right? That's I like that. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Let's get rid of these even though the table doesn't like to be the table doesn't like interacting so much with the barrel. But yeah, I mean that's a little bit of work, right? But you could do that. So yes, we can make a floor out of the barrels. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Yes, we can use the barrels as kind of a gap filler. It doesn't quite match the texture and the color of the round table, which is okay. My major hang up with it is like if I'm walking over a floor, I don't think I could handle like every other tile being like interact with this. Also, if you use smart containers mod, the chances of stuff getting deposited in the barrels are kind of high. But yeah, that seems cool. I like that texture. That's cool. That's cool. I like that a lot. So that's exciting. There we go. Remove drops. Let's get rid of these. Time consuming, for sure. But if that's something you're interested in, for sure, that'd be kind of cool to see. Wish we could just those. I guess we haven't really talked about these so much. The regular tables, and they're all right. Looks like the regular table. They're kind of a non-standard. I think. Let's see if they. You'd also end up with a little bit of gap between them. To try and make it square, I guess, would be kind of a way to say it. So I guess for these, it's up to. I guess it would be kind of up to you. If you're okay with there being a little bit of lip on the outside or a little bit of a gap on the inside. I'm okay with a little bit of a gap on the inside. That's not too bad. I think the lip on the outside would kind of drive me a little crazy if I was seeing it. But this is okay. And let's see. Do that. Because I was lazy. Didn't feel like trying to. Yeah, that's okay. I like that. That's a cool effect. It looks like it looks radically different than any of the other floor pieces that we have, right? Simply because it's a tabletop. That's pretty cool. I like it. I like it. A little bit of work needs to be done, like on the capping. I think one of the ways that I got around having the gaps on the Farmheim server when I was doing this is I put in I think I free placed. Oh, game just saved, so it glitched, derped a little bit. That's clearly not quite well placed, but I put some of these core wood beams in between the tables, because you can kind of push these into those edges, and then it gets rid of the round edge, gives you just a straight square edge look. But I don't know, it's not my favorite. It looks really good for like a dock where it gets weathered, which is kind of how I used it initially. But anyhow, let's see. Get this back out here. Oops. One broke, but I already have a new one. I don't have to make a new one. So I like this one. I honestly think that this might be my favorite look. It's pretty simple, but like it's got a nice breakup of the thing. And honestly, like once you start putting like rugs on it, like a blue, the blue looks nice against that. Like, I mean, honestly, the blue looks really nice against that. Not really a big fan of that one. Not a big fan of that one. Don't even know what that is. The Lox rug, well, looks okay against it. Yeah, the Lox rug looks okay against it. Is that all the rugs? I thought there was a smaller rug. The red looks okay against it too, because it's just got a nice bright color to it. The Lox one doesn't look too great against it because it's just brown against brown. IMO, but that's, you know, that's just me. So that's my opinion. I'm not a decorator, right? Like I'm not. I got all the junk in my inventory. Let's just get rid of this so I stop seeing that error. There we go. But I like this. I think this one so far is my favorite. And it's the easiest to do, right? Like it feels like the easiest one to do. With this one, let's see, back to experimental land. We can kind of do this and rotate it. But this doesn't really fit within itself as well as the table does. It does fit. But the rivets or nails, I guess, bolts, whatever it is that we use to hold this together, have to be lined up really well, or not. It's just, it kind of depends on what you like in terms of your personal views on that. But that looks okay. And again, building that into an existing structure, this one's, I think, the most difficult, followed closely by the round one, because again, I don't really know what to do with the gaps yet. So let's continue on with our quest to find a way to fill that gap. Or not, maybe, you know, just maybe the gap stays and we have a floor that's got a little bit of gapping in it. Do I fall into it? I mean, it's probably easier to tell from the middle. Oh yeah, my character would definitely fall into that hole, right? Well, it's not too bad. I mean, it's clearly, I would trip over that. And like, rugs and stuff don't really do anything about that. So, barrels are an option. Stools are probably an option, honestly, now that I look at it. But stools have an on use, right? Yeah, stools have an on use. I think the texture is probably okay for that. But stools have an on use, which makes it so that every time you walk over it, you would see that mouse pop up. Wood benches are the same thing, right? Wood benches are probably a pretty decent accent look, though. How finicky are these? Looks like they're already pretty finicky. Like I can't really get it in there, but let's try and raise that a little bit. Let's see. Zip, zip. How much further does this need to go? Yeah, that's pretty finicky in terms of its placement. It's already been a half hour. Wow, yes it has. Yeah, and again the butt prints. You could have a floor with butt prints on it if that's what you want to do. I think these would probably make pretty decent stairs, honestly. Again, the on use is enough to make me not want to do it. But yeah, I think these would make kind of pretty decent stair texture. That's funny. Alright, what else we got to cover this gap? Nothing with on uses. Guess you could use straw. But it's not like it's super classy looking. You go for a nice round table floor and have straw. Regular tables can kind of smush in there like so. But that's just, I don't know. Again, I'm not a decorator. I'm just a can we do the thing? So I'm just giving options on things that we can and can't do as we experiment with this stuff. And when I make a tutorial, I'll probably make a tutorial on just kind of what I'm doing now. A concept and conceptual. These are things that are possible, but not necessarily thing that I would do. And we can offset this a little bit. Being a little bit touchy about the core wood. There we go. There we go. Aha! I mean, my building's not quite the right dimension. I would have to put another one of these in there to make that fit as well. But yeah, no, good proof of concept for this. It looks good. Putting rugs over that will look good. I like that. I mean, even I guess if you put some of these marble tables in. Oh no, they have to be built on. They have to be built on something a little bit sturdier, don't they? So we would have to put in like some cage walls or cage floors or whatever, and just be placed on that. Yeah, so I mean you could inset some cage walls. So many build pieces now. Boop, boop, boop. And I'm not an interior decorator, so I'm aware that some of these things don't look very good. That's just too much jitter for me. That's just too much jitter for me. Like, you can do it, but I don't recommend it. It's just too jittery. I feel like all of that jitter probably causes a little bit of extra GPU usage as well. But I mean, I'm not a computer scientist either. I don't know. I'm gonna grab a drink. I'll be right back. I like this one. I think this is my favorite looking one, followed by this, especially like if you're gonna do like outdoorsy type dock stuff. This has a nice look. You don't have to break them. If you're putting it outside, you don't have to do the thing that I'm doing with the pickaxe. It'll happen automatically when it rains, unless you're out in the plains, I guess. But I think that's a good look. I think that's a really good look for like a plane or a dock or something. I know I keep saying the same thing over and over again, but that's kind of where my brain is. Alright, so we've tried barrels. I don't really like the idea of having to do a floor with stools, so let's not do that. Chairs, we love chairs, but they're not very flat topped to do any sort of table work with. I will say, we do have some other flat objects to spend a little bit of time with. So, wood stacks, they're a little taller, right? So we have to break down all of this extra stuff that we've got in here. I think wood stacks probably might make good floors though. Let's check this out. So, cool thing about this is they can just be like slid in against stuff. They're a lot more tolerant in terms of how much like janking you can do with them. Right now I'm just kind of shoving it up against the core wood pole. So you can have like a nice little log floor to walk on. That's kind of cool. I like that. That feels stable. That feels like sturdy, right? I mean, yeah, there's a ton of gaps in there, and I would personally probably break my ankles on it. But yeah, if you wanted to do like a super non-standard floor type, that would work pretty well, I think. Same with the fine wood stacks. The fine wood stacks are a little bit easier, right? Because they've got a little bit more or a little less gappage to go with. I just do this out here. There's no sense in trying to shove that stuff inside a building. A little lumpy, right? It'd probably be a little lumpy to walk on. But I'm talking real life. In the game, it's not too bad. Yeah, I feel like that's probably a pretty decent floor item. It's really expensive though. I would anticipate needing like a tree farm for that. You can rotate the build pieces as well, just to give it a little bit of a different. Not really sure what that pattern would be called, but yeah, that's doable. What's the core wood look like? This one's a little bit more difficult because it's not flat, right? Like it's how tolerant is this of being smushed against each other? So this one's pretty tolerant too. But I guess at this point, if you're gonna do core wood stacks, you might as well just do log core wood floors, right? Like using the beams instead of the stacks. But that is something that you can do. Apparently, it doesn't look too bad. Loop. Yeah, I mean that's all right. That's okay. It doesn't look like I would break my ankles on it so much as just the regular wood stack. Let's see. I don't think I would recommend this to be a floor, but maybe. I mean, if you're looking for like a yeah, okay, I could get behind that. Actually, I could probably get behind that as a floor. It looks like it's about the oh I didn't look at it from the side. Yeah, not so much. Yeah, not so much on that one. That one's kind of bumpy. But from up here, it looks okay. Like, as an accent piece or something, sure. I could get behind that. But it just looks like a bundle of sticks. Ashwood stacks. These are pretty cool. But they suffer the same issue as some of the others. In terms of, like, the amount of space in there. But you can kind of smush them into each other a little bit more. It looks like. So yeah, that's an okay look too. That's an okay look too. I could probably get behind that. Probably super expensive, in terms of like time investment and materials investment. But yeah, like that would be cool for like a, I don't know, something. You could probably I feel like that also runs the risk of feeling like you're walking on pallets, which triggers my don't do that response, because walking on pallets is not very safe. Oh, but that looks pretty cool. That looks pretty cool. I like it. Kind of up there with this floor. I know it's not a table, but I don't know. I figured we'd look at non-standard floor types. That's about as non-standard as you could get. All right. If you want to go a little macabre or macabre, I'm not. I've heard it both ways. You can do bone stacks as well. I'm sure somebody has probably tried or done something similar. But yeah, you can do bone stacks as well. Not my favorite look, but I don't know, might be somebody's. Might be somebody's. I still like the regular table. I think that one's probably my preferred. But the ashwood stack is kind of right there with me, with right up there with that. It's too bad that that's probably a super hefty time investment. What else we got here to play with? Cartography table? Nah. Again, that runs the carts, probably not so much. Carts get a little jiggly, and they also have to be on use. What about stacks of stone and stuff? I think that just kind of runs the risk of being like too instance heavy for me. It literally probably that would take so long to make a floor out of. However, I just kind of had a thought. All right, so remember we're still trying to think of a solution for the gaps between tables, which honestly, if you're able to smush them in like this and then build a structure around it, it's not too bad. That's not too bad. But let's look at what's the possibility of using like stone, coal, this stuff, no, okay, I think that, pile of skulls, that's great. Not so much on those. So, meh. Campfires and stuff all run the same problem of having on uses. So I think that pretty much takes me to crafting tables and stuff. Crafting tables and stuff would be kind of a pain to use because you also have to have like the corresponding whatever nearby, right? But I guess if you want to walk on a bunch of cleavers and stuff, it's a little taller than the tables are. So you wouldn't need, if your structure is a meter tall or whatever, or again if it's already an existing structure, it looks like about a meter tall is what you would need on that. But again, you'd be walking on what does this need? Cauldron. It needs a cauldron. Also, I don't think you can put them next to each other, right? Excuse me. Yeah, it's too close. Too close to itself. So that's kind of a no-go on that. Which is probably the same for the rest of the crafting tables as well. What's the top of the blasting? What's it look like? Talking about expensive stuff. What does this even look like? Imagine. We fall inside this thing, hey? Now we're getting a little ridiculous. But that's actually kind of cool. Oh, I like this. Hang on. I know this is expensive. I know this is so expensive, but let's I'm gonna use a mod for a second. Hi Joe Axel, welcome in. We've done some science. How are you doing? We're still doing a little bit of science. So, but I think I've landed on, let me just show you what we've done. Here's the regular tables. I like the regular tables. I think the regular tables are probably my favorite. Wood stacks are okay. These are okay. Stacks of bones. You know, kind of an accent piece. Round tables are cool. We're still trying to think of what to add to the gaps in here in the round tables. And then these are the same as we've seen in a while, but I kind of like the way the ashwood stacks look. As a floor's texture, probably really expensive, like I keep saying. So that's the science that we've done. However, I've kind of noticed a thing. So let's come over here. I'm gonna use build camera to do this, so that's a little bit easier. What is the tolerance level on these? Not great. Actually, like it just doesn't wanna play. How about back to back? No, they just don't want to play. Which is kind of too bad. Side to side. What can we build on this? Okay, we can build on it. What do I got here? That doesn't look anything like that. What do we have that we can do? 1x1s. No, it doesn't. Well, I mean, there wasn't really anything over there supporting it. The reason why I'm doing this is because I noticed something interesting. Alexa says the tables look nice. I like bone piles as pillars. Ooh, yeah, that's a great idea. I thought of that. Yeah. I could see that. The reason why I'm testing this is because we don't fall into this, and it's kind of cool to have a hole that you just walk over. From like a floor perspective, right? Like if this was a floor, you've got this hole here, which is kind of neat. I don't think I would ever personally do this because of how like super expensive that would be, right? Like talk about like the 10 iron, etc. 10 iron, 5 core. Well, I mean, how much do ovens cost? I mean, okay, so this is right up there with brick walls, right? But yeah, that's kind of neat. It's just your structure would have to be, how tall would your structure need to be to even consider using this as a thing? Structure would need to be five meters tall, looks like, roughly. And then you'd also have to like hide a bunch of stuff. Alex, this is the blasting furnaces are cool. First time I made one, I wondered if I would get stuck in its chimney. Yeah, that's fun. I honestly, I've never even looked at the tops of them. I didn't even realize that there was a hole at the top of that. I just kind of assumed that, like, because it's something that's out of sight, out of mind kind of situation, I just kind of assumed that, it was just like a solid top. I think the ovens are kind of solid topped, aren't they? I mean, I don't know. I guess I just kind of assumed, right? So yeah, I like that. That's cool. I would I don't know. We'll see. I don't think I will personally do something with it, but I guess someone might. Fermenters. Fermenters as floors. They're pretty touchy. They don't really like having stuff touch their sides or front or anything like that. So, in terms of like the amount of gap that we would have to even... Oh, they also have on uses. Does that? Yeah, they also have on uses. Hi, Kenris. How are you doing? I don't think I would necessarily do that as a floor. But if you're gonna be non-standard, I guess like using those. Kenris, check this out. This is kind of cool. I think this is pretty neat. Like, if I know it's expensive and really kind of expensive in terms of space, but you know, we don't fall inside of these. But imagine like having a floor made out of these things where you could just look down. It's like I know there's places where they make floors out of like glass or whatever, where you get to look down and stuff. Like it's kind of like that. I like it. I like it. That's pretty neat. Like honestly that's as close to having like a glass floor as I've seen in Valheim. With the exception of having like you know, these doodads here, right? That's what you could do, is just do that, but yeah. Kind of saying, have messed around with wind power a little bit. I've seen a couple of your posts as well regarding the raft and wind power and whatnot, and that's pretty fun. Iron chests are also nice as floor. Yeah, I could see that. Sure. The reinforced ones, or other, because I like them. They're really jittery, and I would want to use like a bunch of them. But yeah, no, that would look nice. Again, the only problem, and I think I said this before you guys were here, but I don't think I would do very well if like my floor was like constantly telling me to use it. You know what I mean? But it does look nice. I really like the tops of some of the textures that we've got to play with. Let's see. It's also kind of a non-standard shape size. Do they ever balance out? I mean, how many chests do you need to build? There's a bit of a gap there. But yeah, I think iron chests as a floor would really nice. The black metal chests have that pokey bit on the top, so I'm not sure, like IRL, I'm not sure if that would be a great floor solution. I feel like, ow, I feel like I'd be, but in terms of like an accent in between things, yeah, that'd probably be okay. What else we got? Personal chests. Personal chest looks nice because they're square, right? So you could really do some kind of nifty stuff with that. As like an accent. Again, you would probably have to raise. You would probably have to raise it. Let's see. How much higher would this need to go? Furniture. It looks like it'd have to go up 3 tiles. Kenner says at least it's not tripping you. Yeah, for sure, the chest floors. Black metal chest floor equals Lego floor. Yeah, that's funny. Alex says they look painful, like stepping on Lego bricks. Ah. Kenner says, have you tried using the food items for floor designs? No, I can't say that I have. I would have to have somebody. Honestly, I think I would have to have somebody come in and set up a ward on my server so that I wasn't so that I wasn't accidentally picking it up all the time. There's so many food items though. Like I don't even have a list of them all. You have one in mind that you would want to walk on? A floor of fish. Have I tested the new serving tray? No, I haven't. I haven't even seen it. Spawn serving. Is it just called serving tray? No. Spawn tray. Is it food tray? Spelled wrong. What is it? What was that? Hold on. Spawn pickable random food? What is that? Hang on. Spawn. Let's spawn that. Dang it. Ooh, food. Pickable random food. What is that? Okay, so it just gave us a mushroom. Is it gonna give me a different one? No, it's just alright. So I guess random foods are mushrooms. So I can look to be excited about finding a mushroom there every like 30 minutes or so now. It's exciting. Let's see. I know getting the serving tray requires you to touch a bunch of random food items. Hang on, can I just make it out of my inventory? Or is it a crafting station item? Hang on. I might not see it because having a little bit of trouble recognizing ceramic plates. Look at those. Oh, now I can make the... Oh, is it... Oh, that's just a ceramic plate. It's not like an actual food plate. I take things kind of literally sometimes. I have to buy it from the witch. I don't have this explored. Actually, I have the entire map explored, so that's kind of the problem. Spawn bog witch. Grok. Alright. Serving tray. How much is it? Spawn gold. 14,000. No, that'd be a lot. My game would probably crash. 300. My game will... Thing object. Spawn coins. 300. Sorry. They're the wrong thing. Alright. Serving tray. So this would be a very expensive floor, hey? Alright. Look at all this stuff this character's never touched before. Can I just put it down? What is the deal with this? I can loot. Flip, 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 flip. Alright. Equip it. Alright, I've equipped it. Does it... My guess is it needs to be placed on a... No, open the build menu. Okay. Oh, look at all that. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. I see what's going on. Alright, alright, alright. How touchy are these things? They're not. They can definitely be smushed into each other, so that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I haven't played with this at all. Alright, what kind of flat items do we have? Omelets. Omelets probably make okay. Onion soup. What is that? Salad? Pies? I don't know. I'm not seeing much Alright. Look at these. I like these. Wait, they're pickable. That's the problem, is I would definitely need someone to come in with a ward to keep me from picking these things. But yeah, you could walk on toadstools. That's cool. That's pretty neat. What else we got? Porridge? Porridge looks cool. Yeah. Yeah, Counter says the possibilities are endless for this. For sure. I would want a plan build or something to make it so that I could use like an entire tile of these as opposed to setting each one individually. Because like I could see that getting really tedious. Like really quickly, placing literally 1,000 of these things at once. What else we got? No, it's got too much of a lip. It's too bumpy and gross looking. Sizzling berry broth. So far, the toadstools are my favorite. Truthfully. This stew, nah. This thing, nah. Blood No, this is really cool. That's really cool. I'm excited that they've added that. So yeah, for sure. I would 10 out of 10 I would make a floor out of 10 out of 10 I would make a floor out of toadstools. Oh, I could do the same with meads. I need to go get one of these for Ernst. Can I get one of these for Ernst? I should get one of those for Ernst. Hang on, these feasts. Yeah, you can make a floor of feasts. Blip, 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 blip. Silly. That's silly. Wow. Nah, that's got too much junk on it. That's clearly way too bumpy. What about this thing? Nah. It's really cool, the giant char I can't say the word, so I'm not even gonna try. And it's a bowl. Try them on a wall, Kenner says. Hang on, I got distracted by the extra options. I'm just gonna build a plain old meh looking wall. 4 food. What do you mean? You mean like on top of a wall? Or try making a wall out of them. No, that doesn't work. That'd be kind of cool though. They don't like to stack on each other for sure. They don't mind like smushing into each other, but they don't like to stack on each other. Alright, I feel like I've kind of lost the plot here a little bit. So, yeah. Okay. So that is something that has changed recently. Alright. So back to the original premise of the stream for just a second. In terms of non-standard floor designs, I like these. These are kind of cool. So the ashwood stacks look kind of neat. We already know that this looks kind of neat. These are okay. What does this look like after it's been bonked? Oh, it broke. It needs something that's a little less bonky. Did these just turn green? No, it turns a nice. And although, okay, so we have a little bit of variation in terms of the. Oh, it turned green. Okay, so I wouldn't break it to the point where it turns green, but yeah, you can get a little bit of variation with it there. How about these? What do these look like? Oh, they're a little lower. Oh, okay. Oh, that just broke. Droxa says, how does one of the biggest feasts look when you've eaten 9, 10? Might have to use some puke berries to speed up the eating. Yeah, probably won't do that. Which one's the biggest one? Swamp Dweller's Delight. Speed, what's timescale? Oh wow, that takes forever. That's 50 minutes. So yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that. Hi, Kongveal. Welcome in. How are you doing? How's your day? How's work? And whatnot. Oh, let's slow that down. Time scale 1. Oh, those are interesting. Yeah, I'm a big fan of these, the ashwood stacks. The bone piles are okay. It's kind of a different one. I would 10 out of 10 make a floor out of toadstools. Regular tables are probably my favorite. I do like the reinforced chest, but I kind of like the personal chest a little bit more. I think that you can do some pretty cool patterns with that. And then I might consider, I don't know, it's kind of a lot of work, but I might really consider having chimneys for floors as well. These things. It just means that you'd have to have like a pretty hefty investment in terms of the exterior or a basement. Like you could put this underground, I guess. Actually, that would be really cool. Have a basement and then have holes going down into it, which would be pretty neat. Kongveal says, just got home from an all-staff meeting. Now on to my normal work. Nice. Well, welcome back. Hopefully the meeting was productive and not stressful. Kenra says those are some nice floor ideas. Thanks, Kenra. I appreciate it. I appreciate that. That's very, very kind of you. Kenra says, I think we should team up Matt with Emma for some Valheim science. That'd be fun. That'd be fun. I feel like my science is definitely rudimentary in comparison to some of the science that I've seen everyone else doing. But yeah, that's alright. I'm just looking for a tutorial idea, to be honest. That's kind of cool. That's kind of neat, actually. I kind of like that. That's pretty neat, you guys. That's a nice flush look, because like you do this, and it's not flush, right? You have to do a significant number of shenanigans to try and get that to be flush with the thing. Whereas with this, all you have to do is build 1 meter up. You don't have to do what I'm doing, but I'm doing it for simplicity's sake. You just have to build a 1 meter tall thing. And do that. So, that's kind of neat. Kongveal says I have to go back and watch the whole video. I'm looking forward to this video. Oh, well, thank you, Kongveal. I mean, yeah, I really haven't done a lot of, like, yeah. What you see is what you've got so far. Let's see. Jorox says I don't often use iron grate floors with regular floors on top. It looks like the wooden floors have nails in them. Yeah, that's kind of a cool look. I don't often. Okay, yeah, I see the correction. I was like, not don't. Yeah. I'm with you on that. That looks pretty cool. Kenner says I'm going to team up with her and do a science video. That'll be cool. But my mob video is getting way too big, so I don't know. I was thinking about that, Kenneris. I was thinking about that. Because what if you separated it by biome and had hey, I don't want to tell you how to do it for sure. But I was actually thinking about like how I would do it, because like you just said, it's that's a pretty massive McHuge large video. To me it's a little daunting, so yeah. Kongveal says the meeting was a bit stressful, found out about massive budget constraint coming our way. I'm not surprised. I learned a bit about the history of HIV and how we got to where we are today. Oh, nice. Nice. That's pretty cool. I know there's been a lot of advances, even in the last few years. You can't just break these, huh? Or can it be done with the... Okay, good. we're trying to make floors out of food, and I went for like the bumpiest, squishiest looking thing. Straight off. Oh, I guess I don't have to worry about breaking my tables, but I like the toadstool look. Joel also says, yes, the stairs are nice as a piece between stone and wood. But okay. I'm just discovering stuff for the first time while you guys are like, yeah, I know that for centuries at this point. So, good. I'm glad I'm with you guys on the same page. Alright. Let's get rid of some of this stuff. Okay, well I feel like we've done a lot of good science in terms of like floors. We haven't really landed on anything new or crazy. But yeah, I feel pretty good about where we've ended up. I like the table floors. I think they're a good look. 10 out of 10 recommended. I will probably do a tutorial on that, on how to add them into an existing structure. The gaps between the round tables is an obstacle, I feel like, but it's not too bad. I'm getting rid of some of this stuff, and we're gonna play a little bit with stained glass stuff. So let me just. Kenner says that'd be nice for content, but I also like all the info in one place because I personally don't like to watch 7 videos just to get info. That's fair. That's fair. I'm a more targeted info kind of guy. Break all these things. Break it down. Break it down. I can replace the floor. Ah. Is it all of them? Over here. Go. And then I need to switch back to this doodad to get rid of this stuff. Oh, I broke my serving tray. I'm not gonna make a new one though. You don't get to make them anyway, you have to buy them. They're really expensive. Oh, there's still a little bit of meat on the ground. It's nice that we don't have to use item stands for food. That's pretty cool. I like it. Get this stuff out here. Place all the holes. Flip, flip. Alright. Kongveal says only Matt would try doing floors out of food. Squishing floors. Squishy floors, though. Actually, it's just Joe Axel says this. Stepping on a bunch of puddings. Flop, flop, flop. I can just imagine. Blah. Let's see. Just gonna get rid of all this stuff. Blah, 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 blah. There we go. Kongveal says, yeah, counters with 7, 5, 10 minute videos are easier to digest than 145 to 75 minute video. Yeah, for sure. For sure. It also, I guess it depends on like pacing and whatnot within the video and etc. But for sure. Alright. So I want to spend a little bit of time working on like stained glass window designs and showing off a little bit of what we can do with some of those things. No, I'm not I keep saying this, but I'm not like a really great decorator. And I'm not really super up on the like being able to build like really cool looking like decorative stuff. I'm not really like up on what a lot of this other stuff that we have available to us is. Like I'm a more build components kind of guy. So with all of those disclaimers, I guess, in place, we'll work a little bit on some stuff. I've seen some recently. I've seen some people posting like videos of cathedral-esque kind of windows and whatnot. So I'm kind of interested in maybe reproducing some of those things. So Let me grab a drink of water. I'm gonna take my sweatshirt off too because I'm like dying here. And I'll be right back. Alright. Let's look at this. So I've seen some cool stuff with these things. I'm not gonna do that, though. Actually, I've seen this. It's cool. I'm not gonna do it. But what we can do is we'll do some cool patterns and whatnot, using signs or stained glass. So that's what we're gonna get into next. Kongveal says it's nice to have it all in one spot, but that would be a long, difficult video to watch, depending, of course. Kenner says I could do a series, that way I can get more, get Emma involved for the things that she's already tested that I don't need to get into. Yeah, for sure. Do like a collaborative kind of doodad, that'd be pretty neat. Kenner says was talking to her about it, but came down to how big the video was getting. Yeah, you know, I don't want to put my face in places where it doesn't belong, do you know what I mean? But, that's kind of what I was thinking. If I were to do that, I would break it down, not just for myself, for the mental health and executive function of doing the thing, but for my audience, my audience. So I can speak to like my audience, like revolts if my videos are longer than a couple minutes. Because I've that's what I've done is my videos are all kind of 30 seconds to a minute long, so I have to be able to share information that fast. There we go. Alright. Let's see here. I don't know, guys. But let's go with this. We've got a couple different sizes, and we're gonna add signs to this. Should be okay. Should be fun to do. Should be generally pretty easy to do. But we're gonna explore some I guess stained glass looking kind of things. And you can add these to structures that already exist by using signs. I would almost always put them behind the center point of whatever it is. That way, it's not protruding from that standpoint. But I have, and I'm going to show you a little bit because a couple of changes have been made in terms of how you can interact with signs. Like as soon as you put a tag in here, right? Size equals 10. Okay, 120, 12, fine. Then the tag goes away. So I recommend doing all the tag work in Notepad or something like that. It's pretty quick and easy. And then copying it over. So what I'll do is I'll show you, and I'm going to show you where I get my where I'm going to get the symbols for the stained glass. Because I know it was either Rosie Girl or Splash, I can't remember, was doing stained glass windows a while ago. It was like roughly after I put out the tutorial that I made. And I think they were doing their own symbols or their own patterns, and I'm definitely not going to be doing that because I'm not an artist. I don't have that in me. So I'm going to pull up my browser so I can show you where I'm going to copy this stuff from real quick. So Kenner says, I'm always open to learning from the expert content creator. Well, Kenner, thank you. I appreciate that. That's very kind. So I just have this text symbol copy paste thing that you can go to. It's just, I say I just have, it's not mine, clearly. These are a bunch of just the symbols. Some of them work, some of them don't. It's pretty easy to tell if they don't work. You can just, or if they do work, you can actually just select them. Any website, and you just select a bunch of them, and copy and paste them into your chat window in game, and anything that shows up as a square clearly doesn't work, right? You just get squares. But anything that shows up as a as the item shows up. So like we've got a couple stars and a couple that looks like snowflakes or whatever. So there is that. Kenner says there's also a tool that makes signed blueprints for Arch. I want to try that at some point. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I know I've seen some mods for it. I definitely, I don't know. I definitely prefer to do as much as I can in vanilla without having to depend on mods, because like not everybody, like the community is still pretty split. Like you have a lot of people that are like, yeah, I use mod for whatever, and then you have a lot of people that are like, wow, if you use mods, you're a cheater at the very least, and you're an evil person at best, or at worst. I don't know. So yeah, so I definitely try to avoid using mods as much as possible when I can. So we know we can do some stars. Let's see what else we got here. Circles. I was thinking about doing kind of like some of the weather symbols, like clouds. I don't know if the clouds will work or not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a new tab that does... It's just an online notepad so that I can switch back and forth pretty easily between without having to open like another window. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to put the tags in now. So let's do like size equals 50. Vertical offset of 50. If you keep them even, it'll roughly do the thing. Kenner says just make lines. Clouds are pretty flat in Valheim. Yeah. That's funny. Vertical offset is 50. And then no kitten, please. Don't be in. You can watch, you can hang out, but don't do that. Let's do color. Yes, please. Color equals, I don't know, let's do yellow for now. And now let's find something we can play with. Oh, also we can do sprites, right? I think, oops. We can do we can do all of this. And we can do sprite equals, it's either 1 I think it's 1 through 16. So let's do sprite equals 1 for now. And let's actually copy paste that over into the game and see what that looks like. So I'm just gonna put that. Okay, so it's that face. Oh yeah, hey, look at that. Look at that. That's great. Let's do offset of 100 and see if that centers it. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, that's fun. That's fun. I like that. I mean, like when I say stained glass, I really just mean like window decorations, but yeah, that's pretty cool. But yeah, you could do at that point you could start adding these random doodads that they've put into the game, right? kind of like that, actually. It's just too bad that that's gonna... I don't know. We'll see what it looks like. I mean, that'll be kind of jittery. Blech. There we go. Yeah, no, I mean, clearly that's not what I'm going for. Like if I were gonna use these things, I would use a pattern, like or something else. I wish this was curved. There's not an arch piece that does that, right? Oh, I don't think so. That would be something to look at. Charles says classic stained glass from Catholic churches. Yeah. I was looking at stained glass examples, and I don't think there were any smiley face emojis. So what's sprite number 2? Look at that. Sprite number 2. Hey, yeah. So then, okay, let's look on sprite number 3. I'm not gonna go through them all. Right, I'm not gonna go through them all. That one's cool. There we go. But then, what we can do is put behind that. Let's kind of switch that to that, right? Let's find us a texture symbol that we can put behind it. Now, I'm not sure. Kenneth says, "Are you sure stained glass tends to have plenty of smiley facing? Look at the side glass." Yeah. Sometimes. I guess maybe the ones I was looking at, the ones I was looking at were mostly patterned. Let's put this in here. And try that. So here's where we start to run into issues, because when we stop using sprites and we start using just the colored symbols, we start running into that issue there. And I wanted to look up actually I wanted to look up the Unity text to see if there was a transparency command, and I think there is. I just can't remember what it was. I don't think I'm gonna make you guys watch me search the internet. I'm not sure that's a great one. Is it just opacity? Opacity equals something? Opacity equals, let's go with 0. Just to give that a good old test-a-rooney. No. No. That wasn't. Did I spell it wrong? No. I think there was I'm pretty sure there was something. And it was something kind of weird and jank sounding. But yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna make you guys watch me search the internet for that. So I think that one's a little too dense. Let's find one that's not as dense to use. This one here is kind of what I was thinking. I don't know if it works or not though. So let's just copy it. Nope, it doesn't. Oh yeah, you can just copy and paste stuff into a sign and it'll tell you if it works or not, because it'll give you a square. Well, I'm just gonna copy all this stuff and then I'm gonna paste it into here. So we've got this one will work. Okay, so that's kind of cool. Not what I really want. What else do I have here? So these will work. Those are okay. Those are okay. Excuse me. Let's see, what else do we have down here? Will the keyboard work? That'd be kind of cool. That'd be funny if it... Oh, the keyboard does work, you guys. You can have, yeah, a keyboard symbol in there. Hang on. Right there, like so. There we go. Yellow, let's make this white. White. Good old white keyboard. Look at that. That's kind of neat. I mean, I'm not a designer, guys. I'm a designer. But that's kind of neat. Yeah, it look cool and typing on a keyboard. Let's see. I know I was playing with triangles because triangles are probably the easiest way to fill in the let's do this. To fill in the arches, triangles are probably going to be the easiest way to do it. So I'm going to put it in the middle here, and then let's copy. Let's put this here for now. I'm just going to leave it that color. And I know that offset and that shape is not going to be right, but I don't need to copy the other triangle. I can just skeleton surprise. How many events does this character get? See? Stop event. Skeletons are tired of fighting. Well, maybe they should take a nap. Alright. And let's work with this offset. Probably offset of like 200, huh? Alpha. Yeah. That was it. That was it. Maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Alpha equals with the number with the yeah, I'll try it. I'll try everything that you told me to do. Copy paste that. Did that get different? I mean, it's kind of hard to tell because it's so far up there. So let's put that back down here in our face. And let's do black. There we go. Alright. Alright. So alpha is 22. What does 0 do for that? Well, didn't like 0. Is there a number range for this? Or is it, okay, 25 didn't really do anything. How about 60? Well, 60 has a number. Okay, so 60 got darker. So is 22 22 must be the lowest? 1. Okay, so 22 is pretty low. 15. 15, okay, so 16 worked. How about 10? 10 works. So that's pretty, it looks like it gets, the lower the number, the more transparent, maybe? 0, 0. Oh, okay, double. Gotcha. I guess that makes sense given the fact that 22 is a two-digit number. Okay, so that didn't really change on 0, 0. How about 10? What happens between... It's not perceivable? Or not seeing a change. Okay, so 20. Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Okay, so it's 0, 0 for the lowest, and then 22. So multiples of 22, essentially. 22 the lowest. 44. Yeah, okay, so 44 got a little bit darker. What's 88 look like? 88 got quite a bit darker. What's what is this? Changes by 20? What math is this? 22 to 44 is a 22 change. 44 to 22 is 40. Oh my gosh. My brain isn't working. So what's 88 plus 22? Hey Siri, what's 88 plus 22? Thank you. You guys, I can't even do that brain right now. Nope, that didn't work. Is it that? Or is it FF being fully opaque? See, that's probably easier for my poor brain, is using the letters that you just said. Tennis. After 88. Oh, okay. After 88, it goes AA, then CC, then FF. Okay. That's that. Like I told you, like it didn't it seem kind of complicated? Is it number sign 88? Okay. 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 So, what is completely opaque? FF. There we go. FF is completely opaque. Cool. That's kind of what I wanted to know. Not quite opaque, because once you put something else by it, you can see through it, which is great, you guys, for our purposes. So, back to what we were doing. Offset of, let's do 100. Ever seen a stained glass window in all black? Actually, black stained glass probably doesn't look very good. FF is opaque. Kenra says, yeah. I'll take that. Cool. Thank you, Kenris. Like that, I think that's... Did you get that from the Unity text? What's it? 130. Kenris says that's the SSAO setting. If you turn off SSAO, then transparency will work. Oh, okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. Did I change that at all? 140? Let's go for broke. Do 150. Alright. So that corner is a problem, but usually when you build like a building or something, it's not just an arch. So I guess if you're doing this, how does this attach to anything? Hang on. How does this stuff attach to anything? This isn't the purpose of this video, is not for me to learn how to use this build piece. But I just want to make sure that, like... Get in there. Get in there, you. Okay. So, I mean, at least that is hideable. Cool. I'll take that. Kendra says SSAO seems to make signs see-through with some colors. That messes up with the color, yeah. Yeah, and I think that's why I have that transparency in my, like, mine base for Ernst. Is because I play with SSAO. Turn on. Flip the sign. Copy this. Paste it here. Yeah, there we go. Do this just to hide the corner. Like so. I know I'm not doing like a great job with these build pieces. I like never used them before. Not the biggest fan of not being able to hide. So wait a minute. Wait a minute. How would you cover that then? Yeah, you don't have to worry about trying it. That's not the purpose of this video. So, alright. So we've got a nice little bit of stained glassiness. Kongveal's lurking. There are arch corners for this. Okay, I'll futz with that later. Let's see. We got a smiley face with a keyboard. We need a background and something to connect this so it doesn't just look like it's hovering. But now that we know how to do transparency, thank you, Canaris. Now that we know how to do some transparency, I think that'll be a little easier. Let's go back. Let's go back to here. And let's see if we can find a pattern that will look nice behind that. Alright, so I know we've got all of these that we can play with. Wow, my stream's like really far behind. Interesting. Alright. Or at least my video, my view of my stream is really far behind. Anyhow. Let's see. What else we got to play with here? We have these lines that maybe some of these lines will work. Let's copy some of these lines over. Oh, almost all of these work. Okay, so that's good. So if you really wanted to build a stained glass window like with individual lines and whatnot, more power to you. For sure. It's going to be a lot of work, but that will be doable. Let's get rid of all that. I kind of think that some of these are going to be the most beneficial for my purposes, though. Like, if I wanted to make sure that it wasn't just, like, stuck there. But let's try this one, actually, now that I see it. So let's put that... Let's put that here. But I'm going to copy this over. Like so. Like so. Like so. Oh, nope, it didn't like that one. That's just a square. Which, I mean, we could have a square frame in there, for sure. But, that one didn't work out. Let's copy these over and see if any of these will work. Okay, so a bunch of these work. I want an angled one, though. Do some arrows. That'd be fine. See about the arches. I don't think the arches work though. Curves or whatever. Oh, okay. Yeah, those work. Okay, so let's do that. Let's do that. That's what we'll do. Is let's do this one. Flip. I don't know what I'm doing, guys. I'm just putzing at this point. Thanks for being here while I putz. There we go. Let's raise that up a little bit. Let's do a vertical offset of like 175. Oh, I don't have the triangles centered like at all. Hang on. Or the arch centered in the triangles at all. That's alright. I never said this was gonna look good. This is proof of concept stuff, guys. Which reminds me, let's change the colors of these. They're black. Let's make them... I don't know. Let's make... What goes well with... What goes well with the smiling sunny face? Smiling full face. Let's do... let's just do blue. Let's see what that looks like with non-transparency. Okay, so it is still transparent, right? It is still transparent, and that was kind of my point for like if you are inside a building, you will still be able to see through that. The sprite, however, is not super transparent. So I wonder if we add this to it. But alpha was like alpha 22 was like the lowest, right? Besides 0. I think I just copy pasted that, I think I copied it and then kind of derped. Now, I wonder if sprites just can't be given transparency. If that's just the way it is. If that's the case, it's less of a window and more of a window sticker, which I'm okay with, right? Like honestly, I think that's pretty cool. But let's get rid of the keyboard because the keyboard's kind of messing with my flow here. All right, copy that triangle over. It probably needs to move a little bit over as well, but that's okay. And then where's that at? Let's raise this to 200. a little much. So that's fine. Will the cloud work? Yeah, the cloud will work. So actually, let's put a little cloud above. Let's in honor of Kongveal's rough meeting. Kongveal's still a cool guy, but a rough meeting. Oh, is the cloud transparent? Like, is it see-through? Hang on. That's kind of cool. Hang on. Let's put this at 150. That's kind of cool. Actually, it looks less like a cloud and more like a poofy hairdo. Yeah, that's kind of cool. What if we change the cloud color to blue? Does it change the interior of the cloud? No, it's just the line. Okay, that's okay. Let's put that at white, because you know clouds are floofy white. My hair's kind of getting gray, so I mean that's a pretty representative. Yeah, that's fun. That's fun. All right, let's find a nice border. I kind of like these. These are kind of neat. I've used them before. I feel like I've used them before. Watch me not be accurate in saying that thing though. Yeah, okay, I have used these before. Alright. Well let's put those in here. We'll copy this. Paste that. Guess I don't need both of them because I can just flip the sign. Whoops. Oh, there's no undo. Okay. Alright. How are you guys liking the split screen thing? I feel like it's probably just a couple of us, but is that effective? For you guys? Wow, that's really offset towards the center a little bit, but I think it's because that character is very, very big. That character is very big. So let's actually drop the offset down to like 75. I may need to do a horizontal offset, which I don't think I'll be able to do with that many characters. Let's raise that to about 85. So I think if there's any key takeaways from trying to do like stained glass windows in Valheim, I think the main key takeaway is that it's pretty finicky, right? It's something that requires patience to do because of how many different options there really are. Okay, I'm gonna move this over. And when I say options, it's really just getting the things to interact the way you want them to. In addition to having like a creative vision, which clearly I don't. I don't have a creative vision on this, and I think I've said this a few times. But I've really honestly thought about it, and I was like, wow, what kind of stained glass windows could I do? I don't know. This is an art form in and of itself, but like you could really honestly do some really cool stuff with this. So don't take my here. I'm actually going to use this instead. Don't take my inability to show off an artistic thing as like an inability for the game to do it, because truthfully, I really think that you could do some really cool stuff with this. If you're artistically minded and if you have the patience to do a bunch of little tiles and whatnot. Now we're gonna add a backdrop to this. Add a green backdrop? I don't know. Well, let's see what it looks like with green over. Again, it just depends on what the game does to it. I want a solid block. I think that'll be good. Add the solid block, and I'm just going to copy paste this over itself. This will probably need to be size 100. Just to start, size 100. That's not a solid block. Looks kind of like a nightmare from this side. What's it look like from this side? It's, you know, kind of nightmarish from that side too. Okay. Is this a solid block? There we go. That is a solid block. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. We could always add 2 of these in here, right? We could always do 2. Let's make this 85 so that it fits in between. I think I'm only going to do one example. I thought about doing something over there too. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Offset it is a little high, so let's put the offset. Let's put the offset at like 85. Trying keeping those even seems to feel okay. And then let's add another one. Just add it. I'll just add it to the top of it for whatever's. And the offset, I'll just make the offset like 50 because it doesn't really need to be that tall. Whoops. There we go. That clearly did not work. Vertical offset equals 50. Okay. Let's do the vertical offset 50 again. There we go. Okay, let's make the vertical offset 100. I'm not really sure what I'm doing here. Or I mean I know what I'm doing. I'm just not sure what I'm missing. Okay. Let's make these. Let's make this green because white's not gonna look very good. Green. Green. I mean, I guess I could just throw some random shapes in, but... what did I just do? I see what I did. I did the wrong one. Green. It's fine. I can fix that in just 1 second. 85. There we go. Green. That one doesn't quite go far enough up, so let's make the offset 105. No, I keep doing the wrong one. 105. There we go. And that should be better. Hey, yeah, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Now, if I get rid of the sprite, because the sprite is it's kind of drastic, right? Let's get rid of the sprite. Now we have a nice cloud with a little bit of a blue background and kind of a circle that's been formed. I need to replace this over here. Because my goal was to have just kind of like a subtle look going in there. Hey, there we go. It's not showing up. Come on. Copy. Over here. Paste it. I see it on that side. I don't really see it on this side, so that's something to keep in mind. But like, that's pretty subtle, right? And I was really looking for something that was pretty subtle in terms of its like visual impact. So let's find another shape to put in there. Because I like that. That's okay. I like this. What's this thing? I don't know what shape that is, but I'll take it. Does it work? No, it doesn't. Okay. Gotta find a shape that works. None of those. None of those. You can make your own shapes. I mean, there's plenty of options in here, but at this point, I'm just vamping, and I'm like, I just want to get this done. You know what I mean? So, some of these work. Oh, cool. Let's do the Lucky Charm. And by Lucky Charm, I mean 3-leaf clover. So we're gonna do... Where did it go? We're just do the 3-leaf clover. And let's do the same that we did with the sprite. Except it won't be the sprite, it'll just be clover. 'Cause that's an optimistic shape, right? I'm all for that. Hey, alright, and then color. I don't have color in there, so let's do color equals yellow. And I think it's the most transparent right now, right? Because that's what Alpha 22 was. That doesn't look very good, to be honest. That doesn't look very good at all. But let's do Alpha FF. Was least transparent, if I recall correctly. Hey, now I see a little bit of the color on there. But, yeah, it's not great. That's not great. Maybe just basic shapes are our best bet. I think it's because it's filled in, and I think the game is interpreting that fill in as just empty space. What do I know? That's kind of cool. I don't know what I replaced in there, but I replaced something. Get rid of that. Get rid of the cloud. There we go. And I guess the background could be something else. Get rid of this for now. Yeah, you know what? I like that. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. It's subtle. It's kind of hard to see. Because of, you know, the grass and stuff in the background. From this side, it doesn't really look like anything at all, which is kind of interesting. Oh, no wonder why I didn't say the offset was wrong. So from this side, it just looks like a green window, right? Which I personally like. I think it's pretty cool. And then from this side, because this is the side the light's on, and I think that's the biggest challenge with this kind of thing, is whichever side the light is on is the side that this stuff's going to be most visible on. Let's replace this real quick so that it's not sticking up, because one of the other things that's important to know about this is whatever you put behind it will get amplified. So let's do 125 on that. Alright, so anything that I put behind this will get amplified or magnified, which will look pretty cool. So if you add curtains, or if you add furniture or anything back here, it'll look kind of, or a banner or something like that. It'll look kind of cool. So let's add a blue curtain to this, and we need to offset that a little bit from the structure. I know I'm not doing like super scientific here, but I'm sure that probably looks pretty good. Just add these as curtains. And this is just proof of concept at this point, because it's not gonna look super pretty. But in my initial screenshot, you could see that I had curtains set up on my thumbnail, because anything that you add to it will amplify what's being shown. You're not gonna get the colors from the curtains from this side. And this is clearly going to be meant to be seen from this side, but check that out. Like, I think that's pretty cool. That it amplifies the green color, and then any place that you go will show that. I'm not sure what pattern this is, but it'll definitely show off. You put the blue drape here, like so. That's pretty neat. And then if there was a wall back here, right, instead of just seeing the and now you've got a definite look going on there. Check that out. That's pretty cool. If there's a floor besides this floor, does that? No. But yeah, no, that's pretty cool. Sorry it's taken me like an hour and a half to get to this point, but yeah, I think that's kind of neat. And then you can really start playing with like different looking textures behind it. That's not my favorite. But what's keeping that up? What about these doodads? These diverger things. I'm pretty sure I'm saying that right. Yeah, like, check that out. That's pretty neat. It's such a cool look, having the 3D, etc. Even without whatever pattern that is, right? Like that's more along the lines of what I was envisioning when I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make a video about stained glass windows. So just keep that in mind, that anything that you put inside it will just get magnified. I'm not going to fix that because ordinarily there'd be like a wall there. But, we'll cry out. But yeah. Let's drop that a little bit. This to be like 100. Fixing this, let's just make it 60. See if that fixes this. Hey, look at that. So we can actually put another one in there. Let's put this one at vertical offset of like 60. Let's do this one at vertical offset of like 110. It might stick out a little bit, but again, just a little bit of proof of concept. Didn't stick out. 120. There we go. And again, the edges will be hidden when you do this, and I'm sure the top will be hidden as well. What? Alright, that's fine. Whatever. Let's put a floor in here. Just put that there. Yeah, that's a really cool look. That's a really cool look. So just make sure anything that goes in there is behind it. Hey, I'll be right back. Alright. So yeah, that's a really cool look, just in and of itself. Also, the other patterns that we have in the game, like the, when we go into, like, the chairs. Not a big fan of all the bones and stuff, but, like, you can put your throne back there to make it look like a mirror or something. Yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool. What do portals look like behind that? Like portals look pretty cool. Got like an infinity portal going on there, from the outside. And like as you walk past it, yeah, 10 out of 10. I would recommend that. I would recommend playing with like this kind of stuff. So if you made it this far into the stream, or if you're in this far into the stream, do that. Spooky ward. It's fun. I appreciate it, but it really does. It really does add a little bit of extra. Oh, fire doesn't make it through that. That's interesting. It really does add a little bit of extra something. But those stone portals are huge. What else we got? I wanted to look at where are the other ones? The other dividers at? They're just under building. All right. Yeah. So. Yeah, that's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. And then add a pattern in front of it, like we've shown here. I went with the sprite, and I probably shouldn't have stayed with the sprite as long as I did, because it definitely detracted from our ultimate goal of having something that looked like a stained glass window. But these are cool. These are cool. So just a simple symbol in front of a background, in front of a texture. In front of a wall, gives you a really nice look. I 10 out of 10. I keep saying that, but like I like that. I think it looks kind of nice. So honestly, I feel like that's probably a good ending point right there. And I like the 3D-ness of it. Like that's really cool. I wonder if you could just add a little bit more to this. So that as you walk past it, yeah, check that out. Like I know that it's not like completely connected or anything like that, but like that's pretty neat. And I would consider adding like box style windows to like a cathedral design, just so that I could have like this kind of thing that happens. Same with over there. Oh, these things, right? These things are pretty neat looking. Yeah, that's really neat. That's really neat. So, I feel like we got there in the end. So I appreciate. Oh, I forgot that I was still on that. So yeah, I appreciate you being here with me as we look at this stuff, as we explore these things. Definitely really cool. Definitely a really cool thing that we can do as we look at these things. So I would anticipate a tutorial coming out just about like this window box, and I'm not really sure what I would call that. If this is stained glass, that's kind of what I thought it would be in my head. Is a stained glass window kind of situation, but the more I think about it, I'm not really sure what I would call it. So I guess I'll look at that a little bit more in the future. But I recommend it. That's really cool. That's really cool, you guys. I'm happy that we did this. So we definitely did. Oh, my chat was not scrolled up. So you guys, you guys. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, I've like not chatted with you this whole time because I didn't think anybody was chatting. My chat was not moving at all. So my bad. Fleur de lis is nice in the glass. Thank you, Joel Axel. Kenner says I miss neon signs. The arrow was the best. Yeah, the arrow was best. Yeah, those were really cool. The neon signs. Can the solid block be made more translucent? I think we've managed to get that. Let me get in here. Let me get in here. Oh my gosh, you guys chatted a bunch and I just didn't see it. I am so sorry. My chat was definitely scrolled up. Here I was feeling kind of defeated. So, yeah. I appreciate you guys being here. This was a lot of fun, and I'm really glad that we were able to do this. Upcoming stuff. Saturday, I have a video that's going to be coming out, which will be a build tour. So don't miss that, I guess. Check that out after Kongveal's stream. I think Kongveal has the stream on Saturday. It's kind of an announcement build tour for something that will be coming out a week later, which is a huge, giant, large video that I hope we can get a lot of hype out of for that. And then Sunday will be more Ernst, and Monday will be more retro games, and then we'll be back here with some more of this, which I think I might play a little bit more of this, actually, now that we've landed on kind of a cool thing. But yeah, for sure, keep your eye out for Saturday with a build tour, and we'll go from there. But thank you all again. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you. Matt must be inspired by crumbs. That's funny. Bye, Kenris. Good to see you. Thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it as we work through this. Take care of yourselves. Be kind to yourself for sure, and everyone that you can and everything that you can around you. And yeah, you know what? We're gonna see you in another video. In fact, I'm starting to post shorts again, so keep an eye out for those too, guys. So much cool stuff. So thanks for being here. We'll see you in another video. Bye, everybody.